This is the true story behind the latest character in Assassin's Creed Shadows, a tale that blends historical intrigue with the action of the beloved game series. Yasuke, an African warrior who rose to prominence in 16th century Japan, is a fascinating figure in history. His journey from Africa to Japan and his service under the powerful daimyo Oda Nobunaga have captured the interest of historians and enthusiasts. This video explores the rich history and lore surrounding Yasuke, detailing his origins, rise to prominence, and lasting legacy. By examining historical records and different theories about his life, we uncover the story of this remarkable individual who continues to intrigue people worldwide. Yasuke's story begins in the mid-16th century, but much about his early life remains uncertain. Most historians agree that Yasuke was born around 1555, though there is debate about his exact place of origin. He is the earliest known African to appear in Japanese historical records, though his confirmed stay in Japan was short, about 3 years, from August 17, 1579 to June 21, 1582. Bear with me here since there's a lot to pronounce and some I'll definitely get wrong, but historical documents about Yasuke are scarce, with only fragmentary accounts in the letters of Jesuit missionary Louis Froy, Ota Gyuuchi's Shinko Koki, Matsudaira Latada's Matsudaira Latada Nikki, Jean Crasset's Histoire de l'Église du Japon, and François Solier's Histoire ecclésiastique des Îles et Royaumes du Japon. Yasuke had African roots, and Louis Froy referred to him as Khafre in his letters. Jean Crasset's Histoire de l'Église du Japon claims Yasuke was a servant brought from India by Alessandro Valignano, while François Solier's Histoire ecclésiastique des Îles et Royaumes du Japon states he was from Portuguese East Africa, which is now known as Mozambique. It has also been suggested that Yasuke was likely a Muslim. Regardless of his precise origins, it is likely that Yasuke became associated with Portuguese traders or missionaries, which eventually led to his journey to Japan. In 1579, Yasuke arrived in Japan as a servant of Alessandro Valignano, an Italian Jesuit missionary. Valignano was the visitor of missions in the East for the Society of Jesus, tasked with inspecting Jesuit activities in India, China, and Japan. Valignano's party spent the first 2 years of their stay in Japan, mainly in Kyushu. In 1581, Valignano decided to visit Kyoto to meet Oda Nobunaga, the most powerful man in Japan, to ensure the Jesuits' missionary work before leaving Japan. These events are recorded in a 1581 letter by Louis Froy and in the 1582 annual report of the Jesuit mission in Japan, also by Froy. On March 27, 1581, Valignano along with Froy met Nobunaga, with Yasuke accompanying them as an attendant. Froy wrote that a melee broke out among the townsfolk, eager to see Yasuke, resulting in deaths and injuries. Nobunaga, eager to see a black man, summoned Yasuke. Father Organtino brought Yasuke to Nobunaga, who doubted Yasuke's skin colour was natural. Nobunaga made him remove his clothes and wash to prove it. The Shinko Koki describes Yasuke as follows: a black bozu from the Christian country has arrived. He appears to be 26 or 27 years old. The blackness of his body is like that of a bull, and he is healthy and of fine physique. Moreover, he has the strength of more than 10 men. The Padres came with him and thanked Lord Nobunaga for his permission to proselytize. Impressed by Yasuke's strength and imposing presence, Nobunaga took him into his service. The name Yasuke was given to him by Nobunaga, and he was enlisted into his army. The Shinko Koki states, a black man was taken on as a vassal by Nobunaga-sama and received a stipend. His name was decided to be Yasuke. He was also given a short sword and a house. He was sometimes made to carry Nobunaga-sama's tools. Froy wrote, the black man understood a little Japanese, and Nobunaga never tired of talking with him. And because he was strong and could do a few tricks, Nobunaga took great pleasure in protecting him and had him roam around the city of Kyoto with an attendant. Some people in the town thought that Nobunaga might make him as lord. After entering Nobunaga's service, Yasuke followed him to Hazushi Castle in Omi province. Yasuke next appears in historical records on May 11, 1582. The Latada Diary of Matsudaira Latada mentions that Yasuke accompanied Nobunaga on his inspection tour after defeating the Takeda clan. The entry for May 11, 1582 states, Nobunaga-sama was accompanied by a black man who was presented to him by the missionaries and to whom he gave a stipend. His body was black like ink, and he was 6 shaku 2 fun, or nearly 6 feet tall. His name was said to be Yasuke. The exact role Yasuke played in Nobunaga's household is not entirely clear, but he quickly gained Nobunaga's favour. Yasuke's duties likely included serving as a bodyguard and warrior, positions that allowed him to demonstrate his loyalty and martial skills. Nobunaga's treatment of Yasuke, with respect and favour, was uncommon for foreigners in Japan at the time, earning Yasuke a unique place in Japanese history as one of the few non-Japanese samurai. Yasuke's service to Nobunaga was marked by his participation in several key battles and events during the late Sengoku period. One notable incident was the siege of the Iga province in 1581, where Nobunaga's forces clashed with the Iga ninja. Yasuke's presence in this campaign is recorded, indicating his active involvement in military operations. In 1582, Yasuke fought alongside Nobunaga in the Battle of Ten Mukuzan against the Takeda clan. Nobunaga's victory in this battle solidified his dominance over central Japan. Yasuke's role in these battles would have required him to master the art of samurai warfare, including the use of swords, spears, and possibly firearms, which were becoming more prevalent in Japanese warfare due to Portuguese influence. Yasuke's most critical moment came during the incident at Honnoji on June 21, 1582. Akechi Mitsuhide, one of Nobunaga's generals, betrayed him, leading an army to attack Nobunaga while he was staying at the Honnoji temple in Kyoto. Nobunaga, caught off guard and outnumbered, chose to commit seppuku, rather than be captured. Yasuke fought valiantly during the attack, but Nobunaga's demise marked a turning point in Yasuke's life. While the general outline of Yasuke's life is known, there are several differing theories and debates about the details of his story. One point of contention is his exact origin. Some historians suggest he was from Mozambique, supported by records indicating Portuguese activity in the region during the 16th century. Others argue that Yasuke may have come from areas like Ethiopia or Sudan, based on descriptions of his physical appearance and cultural background. Another debate centres around the extent of Yasuke's role and influence in Nobunaga's court. While some accounts suggest that Yasuke was a highly respected and influential figure, others argue that his position might have been more symbolic, highlighting Nobunaga's openness to foreign cultures. The lack of detailed contemporary records leaves room for interpretation and speculation. The question of Yasuke's fate after Nobunaga's death also sparks differing views. Some sources claim that Yasuke was returned to the Jesuit missionaries after being captured by Akechi Mitsuhide's forces. Others believe he may have continued to live in Japan, either in obscurity or under a new patron. The absence of definitive records makes it difficult to draw concrete conclusions about his later life. After Nobunaga's death, Yasuke briefly served Nobunaga's son, Oda Nobunaga, who also faced Akechi Mitsuhide's forces. However, Nobutada's defeat and subsequent act of seppuku left Yasuke without a master. Captured by Mitsuhide's troops, Yasuke's life took an uncertain turn. The details of his fate after this point are not well documented, leading to various speculations and legends. After Nobunaga's act of seppuku, Yasuke was reportedly captured and later released. Louis Freud's annual report on Japan contains the following statements. A black man, whom the visitor Valiano sent to Nobunaga, went to the house of Nobunaga's son after his death and was fighting for quite a long time, when a vassal of Akechi approached him and said, "Do not be afraid, give me that sword." So he gave him the sword. The vassal asked Akechi what should be done with the black man, and he said, "A black slave is an animal and knows nothing, nor is he Japanese, so do not kill him and place him in the custody of the Cathedral of Bodre in India." There are no historical documents to clarify Mitsuhide's statement's true meaning, whether discriminatory or an expedient to save Yasuke's life. Yasuke was sent to the Nanbanji and treated by Jesuit missionaries. Louis Freud wrote 5 months after the Honnoji incident, thanking God that Yasuke did not lose his life. However, there are no historical records about him after that, and his fate remains unclear. Some, like the previous account, suggest that Yasuke was returned to the Jesuit missionaries, while others propose that he lived out his days in relative obscurity. Despite the lack of concrete information about his later life, Yasuke's story left a lasting impact on Japanese culture. He became a figure of fascination, symbolizing the cultural intersections between Africa and Japan during the Age of Exploration. In recent years, Yasuke has become an increasingly popular figure in both academic research and popular culture. His story resonates with contemporary audiences for several reasons, including themes of cultural exchange, diversity, and overcoming adversity. Modern representations of Yasuke in novels, manga, films, and video games such as Assassin's Creed Shadows reflect a growing interest in global history and the interconnectedness of different cultures. These portrayals often emphasize Yasuke's unique position as an African in feudal Japan, highlighting the extraordinary nature of his journey and service under Nobunaga. Yasuke's legacy also serves as a reminder of the often overlooked historical connections between Africa and Asia. His life challenges conventional narratives that tend to focus on interactions between the West and other parts of the world, showcasing instead the rich and diverse histories of non-European peoples. If you enjoyed the video, want to see more, and help support the channel, you can hit the join button to find out more on how to do it. Your support helps the channel grow and is always greatly appreciated.